There is a brand new Tyranid creature out. Well, sort of brand new. Previously dubbed Flappy Sally in my community, it is a Tyranid Prime, but now with wings. Before you can say, "You are tearing me apart, Lisa!" it drops in and makes an impression in the trailer, and then doesn't appear in the trailer anymore. I'm allowed to reuse my own content. Unless this is your first video of me, then that was a totally original joke as far as you know. I tell jokes? I do memes and jokes, not all 40k, and then I do actual analysis in 40k and 40k news. This is news. And news doesn't stand for notable events, whether in sport. It means stuff that is new. Multiple new things. News. So the new model. There are some things about it that aren't great. Totally fine if you like it, no disrespect there. But it's a bit small, isn't it? For its size, I thought it would be a Hive Tyrant, and mentioned that in my first, now looking a bit scuffed video, on what will be in the starter box. A bit of scuff is inevitable when you're a VTuber. It takes a lot of electronic moving parts to keep this whole circus going. Something's gotta give. The actual model size is only a little bigger than a Terminator. Here they are next to one another with the same roof as scale. The Tyranid Prime is twisting itself, but is at its full height. It's only a little larger than the Terminator model, whereas in the trailer, it looked much bigger, nearly twice the size, and so I'd thought it had to be a Hive Tyrant. Look at the spore chimneys and the crest, surely it's a Hive Tyrant. But no. Aside from its model size, I'm not really a fan of this strange arm over the wings look. It's a bit batty, and I do love bats. We get some bats in here? Yeah. But how much flight locomotion can you get without shoulders? You're just gonna pop out some arms like in an anime. I don't think you are getting extensive flapping to get height and a good range of motion well enough to fly. This Hive Tyrant looks right, with its wing limbs on the top, and putting the two together, I have preferences in design. For its rules in the game, it will probably be very similar to the current Tyranid Prime rules, but with limited weapon choice. The current Prime has the same weapon customization as the regular warriors, and that is because it comes from the warrior set. The Tyranid Primes act as a lieutenant to Tyranid core units like Gaunts and other Tyranid warriors and Gene Stealers. Of course, Tyranids have Gene Stealers as core units, but Gene Stealer cults don't. What does this mean for the regular Tyranid Prime? Well, this is called a Winged Tyranid Prime rather than a Shrike Prime or Shrike Alpha. So does this mean we're getting no more regular Tyranid Prime and this model will replace it? Games Workshop has this practice of removing the rules from any model they don't sell. Now it's possible, as I mentioned in my Forge World etc. video, that we'll have rules for the initial release of 10th edition. There will be Tyranid Prime rules of the regular Tyranid Prime, because the Tyranid Prime model doesn't actually have its own model. It's just a fancy head that you can add to a Tyranid warrior unit. This Winged Tyranid Prime may be its replacement, rather than a variation of it. The idea of a Tyranid Prime goes back to the 3rd edition Tyranid Codex, where you could have Tyranid warriors as a HQ choice or as elites. Later on, the Prime got its own stats but was a HQ, while the regular warriors were elites, and now Tyranid warriors are troops because Games Workshop still doesn't know where they should fit. Will they be battle line in the new edition and have a very high objective control score? Maybe is about as firm an answer as we can get for now. As this Winged Tyranid Prime is a character, Games Workshop has suggested at the bottom of the article that you buy some gargoyles for them to go along with. Now this is likely just Games Workshop saying buy our toys, but still it's something to consider which units this Winged Prime will be able to go with. Gargoyles, probably. Regular Tyranid warriors? Maybe. It does suggest that a full unit of plastic Shrikes will come out, and not be Forge World only, but currently they reside in a discontinued state, and Shrikes, which was the term for Tyranid warriors with wings, they don't have rules in 9th edition, not even as a legendary unit, so they may be a unit that's coming out next. Thinking of things that are coming out next, the short video on tournaments that I'm making is coming out next. I keep promising it and then get distracted by something new and weird. It's only been like 3 videos since I said it was next. Soon. I wonder if the Shrike Prime will get lone operative. Probably not, but it would be odd for its size, but consider Godzilla in the American 90s movie hiding on the other side of a skyscraper. I am sort of worried that Games Workshop is going to make an Imperial Knight with Lone Operative. The Knights seem to be facing an uphill struggle in the next edition. As the Tyranid Shrike Prime is a character, it may be a good idea to look into my video on how characters will work, how they used to work, and what is coming next with character rules. Have a great day, 40k, my darlings and viewers, and I hope to see you again later this week. Ooh, teasing, flicker, fade to bats. And I hope to see you. You'd sound. I'm getting the sound from the steps.